Welcome back to my channel Whiteboard e-learning. Dear student, today we'll start from a chapter that is chapter number 10. It contains the light, reflection and refraction. So generally reflection, refraction, dispersion, these are the very common phenomena. And these common phenomena are exhibited by light, and we'll talk about that first of all from the reflection. How do you see an object? You can see in the daytime we can see an object comfortably, but the night time to see an object light is needed. So from the light, rays are coming, falls on the object, and that ray are reflected from that object and finally falls on the eyes, and then we are able to see an object. So in this context, in this phenomena, that is reflection, refraction, we have considered light as a particle, and the name of the particle, photon. This is the photon. If we consider this photon, that is the particle, then we can describe reflection, refraction, and of course we have to consider here ray. That means light travels in a particular direction in a straight line. That is known as the rectilinear propagation of light. That's why you can see a sharp shadow is formed behind an opaque object. That confirms that light travels in a straight line. Here NCERT has given one information that light is not only always move in a straight line, it somehow bends in a particular phenomena. That is known as the diffraction. Diffraction is a phenomena, it also exhibited by light, but here the light bends at the sharp corner. If you just see in the macroscopic world, then the reflection, refraction following the particle nature, that follows in a ray, and shadows will be, single shadow will be constructed. But here you can see in the diffraction, if light falls on a sharp object, like if you think about the blade, sharp blade, a new blade you have taken, and light falls on that, and after falling it, you can see in the wall there is a several shadows has been formed. That means light is not moving in a straight line. Rectilinear propagation of light is fails here. So to understand this phenomena, scientists have described that light sometimes behaves as a wave, and when they behaves as a wave, then these things happens. That means they will not follow straight line nature. So actually in the microscopic world, microscopic means in a small quantity, small particle world, the light behaves as a wave. You can see here light behaves as wave, and then several phenomena also exhibited by light. That is written, one thing is written here, one phenomena is written here, that is a diffraction. You can see this is a diffraction. But other phenomena which are exhibiting by light, that are interference, polarization. So in the microscopic world, when light behaves as wave, then diffraction, polarization, interference are exhibited. But these type of phenomena we will not talk about today. These are the higher classes. So we'll just focus on the macroscopic world, and in the macroscopic world we will consider light as a ray, and they of course behaves as a particle, and that will be reflection, refraction and dispersion. So first of all, reflection of light. What are the laws? Now you can see here the two laws for the reflection. It is written here, this one, the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection, and the second law, that is, you can see here the incident ray, the normal to the mirror at the point of incidence, and the reflected ray all lie in a same plane. So you have heard about that, you know that well also. Interesting phenomenon we can see from the reflection, that is image will be formed, and you have seen in your mirror, in your normal mirror, that is a plane mirror, you have seen image will be formed. This type of image, what are the properties of the image? This image will be virtual, this image will be erect, and the object distance will be equal to the image distance. Height of the object will be also be equal to the height of the image. So these are the actually properties, and it will be obviously laterally inverted. Lateral inversion will be there. Left side will appear as right side, and right side of the image will be appear as left side. So this formula, these laws, that is the laws of reflections, are not only valid for the plane mirror but also for the spherical mirrors. And we'll talk about the spherical mirror here. You can see here the figure. This is spherical mirror and spoon. If you just take one spoon, what is in your home, you can see the spoon. So spoon, the outer surface of the spoon behaves as a convex mirror and the inner surface of the spoon behaves as concave mirror. So actually spherical mirror are of two kinds. One is concave mirror and next one is convex mirror. So how do you understand which is concave and which is convex? It depends on which portions has been silvered. You have to look first. You can see this portion has been silvered, so light will obviously falls in the forward direction, and you can see these portions is inward and the outer portions is bulging out. So here this is the concave mirror. When the mirror portions is curved inward, in which portions the image will be formed, it is inward, curved inward, then we can say it is a concave mirror. And this is convex mirror. You can see this portion is silvered. This portion silvered means lights are coming from the forward direction. So here image will be formed in this side. So here you can see this side is bulging outside. It is curved outward. So this curved outward are known as the convex mirror. And you can see, to understand the concave mirror and convex mirror, some particular points about the mirror we have to understand. The mid portions of the mirrors are known as the pole. So this portion will be known as the pole. So it is denoted by capital P. It is also pole for the convex mirror and denoted also by P. And you can see these spherical portions is a part of a big sphere. So that sphere obviously has some center and maybe this center. So this is the center of curvature of the spherical mirror. So it can be denoted by capital C. Okay. Now if you just consider, you just add these 2 points, make a straight line. Suppose this straight line you will get. So this straight line is known as the principal axis. And you know, distance between the pole and C, that is known as the radius of curvature, and radius of curvature is denoted by capital R. Okay, here also same portions will be, same points will be there. I am just showing on the concave mirror. And if parallel rays, you know, parallel rays are falls on this, suppose this one, so they will meet at a particular point here. So this particular point is known as the focus. And the distance between the focal point and the pole is known as the focal length. That can be denoted by small letter, that is f. That is a focal length. So these are the important terms. Here also you will get, if you just add PC, then principal axis you will get, and this is the distance between P and C, that is the radius of curvature. And also if rays falls on that, they will reflect it back, and finally they seems to meet at a particular point, then you will get here also focus. So these are the important terms. Now if you just read these portions, you can understand.
The paper at first begins to burn, producing smoke. Eventually it may even catch fire. Why does it burn? The light from the sun is converged at a point, as a sharp, bright spot by the mirror. In fact, this spot of light is the image of the sun on the sheet of paper. This point is the focus of the concave mirror. The heat produced due to the concentration of sunlight ignites the paper. The distance of this image from the position of the mirror gives the approximate value of focal length of the mirror.
So you will get the focal length by this process. And for the case of a convex mirror, you can see from the infinity lights are coming which are parallel, falls on it, and you can see they will diverging in that direction, so they will not actually meet in this direction. But if you just extrapolate the lines, they will meet behind at point A. So it seems that lights are coming from the point A, so point A is now known as the focal point. So this is virtual point. You can see from the geometry we can prove that the radius of curvature is twice of the focal length. We'll come back this context after a few minutes. Before that, we learn about this portion 10.2.2 representation of images formed by a spherical mirror using ray diagram. How do you get the image? Obviously, first of all, two rays you have to take. After taking two rays, they will intersect at a point. The two rays will intersect at a point after reflection, and then we'll get one image. We'll learn about some methods how to draw the diagram, ray diagram. A ray parallel to the principal axis after reflections will pass through the principal focus. In case of a concave mirror, you can see it is parallel to the principal axis, and after reflection it pass through focus. That is the one rule. And next, for the convex mirror, what will happen? It is also principal axis parallel to the principal axis, but it will not penetrate the mirror, reflect back in this direction. It will be the focus, and this is the center of curvature line, what dotted line shows that it is the normal at this point. Okay, so after reflection you will see the rays are actually seems to come from a point that is F, that's a focal point. And now a ray passing through the principal focus, you can see ray passing through the principal focus here, falls on the concave mirror, which is directed towards the principal focus of the convex mirror. After reflections will emerge parallel to the principal axis. Yes, you can see if the light ray is coming and passes to the focus after reflection, it will be parallel to the principal axis. You can see this is the principal axis and it will be parallel. And now for the convex mirror, you can see it seems to fall on the focus. If any ray it seems to fall on the focus, and after reflection it also be parallel to the principal axis, you can see here. And this dotted line signifies that dotted lines indicated that this is the normal at this point, and here I and R, according to the law of reflection, it will be the angle will be similar. Now ray passing through the center of curvature, you can see this is the center of curvature. So if any ray pass through center of curvature falls on the mirror, concave mirror, it will follow the same path. So path will be retraced, it will not be deviated. Again the same portions, the same thing will be here for the convex mirror. You can see rays are coming, falls on the convex mirror, and it will retrace the path, it will come back in the same path, and we can see this seems to come from the point C, that is the center of curvature. So these are the special type of ray diagram. Now the fourth one, actually this is nothing but the laws of reflections, the angle will be similar. So if it falls on the point that is pole, so it will make the similar angle and then emerge out. This will be the case for the convex mirror. I think you have understood. And now we will show you the image formation by the concave mirror. You can see here several pictures of the concave mirror, all are the concave mirror, but the object we have placed here in front of the concave mirror are not similar. First we have placed the object at infinity, and we are bringing the object from infinity to the pole, and here the object on the beyond C, here object we have more closer, that is on C, then in between C and F, then between on F, that is coming towards the pole, and finally it is very close to the concave mirror. So you can see the previous method what we have learned, if the rays are parallel to the principal axis, that will follow the focus. Yes, you can see follow the focus. And here also one ray we have taken, that is principal axis parallel, and it follow the focus, and here image will be formed. And we have understand that if object is placed in infinity, image will be formed on F, it will be very small. You can see here point object will be formed, and it will be real and inverted, because you know real image is formed here. You can see for the case of a object is placed beyond C, Then one ray we have taken, that is parallel. So parallel rays obviously follow the focus, you have seen here. And one ray we have taken which is passing through center of curvature. After passing to the center of curvature, it falls on the concave mirror and it will retrace the path. That means it will not be, the ray directions will not be altered, it will follow the same path and go back. So you can see where they will intersect. Here the two rays will intersect after the reflection, so image will be formed here. You can see this image has been formed in between F and C, and of course it is real and inverted. Here you can see object is placed on C, image will be formed also on C, but it will be inverted. Real and inverted image will be formed. This is the case where object distance and image distance will be same. Object and image positions are same. Here you can see we have further bringing the object in between the center of curvature and focal point, and you can see we have taken one parallel rays which is passing through the focus, and we have taken one ray which is actually falls on the concave mirror, and after reflection it will come back to this point. Actually these two rays intersect at this point, so image will be formed here, that is also real and inverted. Fifth figure, you can see we have placed the object on focal point, and if we place the object on the focal point according to the same ray diagram, it will be at infinity. You can see these two rays are not meeting, so the language of mathematics, they will meet at infinity, so image will be formed far away from the concave mirror. And this figure, you can see this is a very interesting figure, this is a special figure. You can see we have placed the object very close to the concave mirror in between focal point and pole. Then image has been formed, that is here not real, this is a virtual image has been formed. It is virtual and erect and obviously magnified. So this case is very different with the previous cases. You can see in all the past 5 cases the image has been formed, that is real and inverted, but this case you can see image has been formed, that is behind the mirror. It is the behind the mirror, and of course it is virtual and erect. So if you just tabulate these 6 figures, if you just tabulate these 6 figures in a table, then it will looks like this one. You can see at infinity it will be focus, it will be highly diminished point sized, and nature of the image will be real and inverted. Beyond C you can see first 5, 1 2 3 4 5, you can see it will be real inverted, all the real inverted. Only the last point what I have told you in the figure, that is virtual and erect. When the in between P and F, very close to the mirror, that is P and F, image will be formed behind the mirror, it will be enlarged. You can see if we just start from the first, infinity focus, C between F and C, on C, that means I have told you and few minutes ago, and between C and F it will be beyond C, at F, at infinity. You can see if you just make one diagonal infinity to infinity, you can see keeping this point intact at C, it is similar. You can see this is just changed, the diagonal has been changed, beyond C, it is beyond between F and C, this is between F and C. Here you can see there is a diagonal relationship at infinity, this is at the focus, you can see at the focus, you can see here keeping this point intact, this is just matched in the diagonal position. And this is a special case I have told you, between P and F, behind the mirror, enlarged, virtual and erect image will be formed. So today we will terminate the class here, and next day we will learn about the spherical mirror, that is convex mirror, and the uses of convex mirror and sign convention of reflection of spherical mirror, and remaining topics. And thank you for watching my video. If you think video is helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe my channel for next upcoming videos.